Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
We're going to save our country. President Trump, thank you for everything you've done. Thank you.
We're going to turn it around. We're going to do it in every way, with so many ways, but we're going to do it in every way.
We've got some mind-blowing news that's shaking up Washington. President-elect Donald Trump has just dropped a huge bombshell. He's announced Elon Musk. Yes, he's making Elon Musk somebody who is going to be in charge of government efficiency. We're also going to be discussing South African news, some good news that we're hearing. Employment numbers have actually jumped. They've risen, which is very good. Now, if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do subscribe. The first thing that is shocking the whole world, President-elect Donald Trump has just dropped an amazing announcement, and it involves a South African, Elon Musk. He's basically making Elon Musk the lead of a brand new government department. It is called the Department of Government Efficiency, and people are calling it Dodge. And no, we're not talking about the cryptocurrency. Yes, we all know that Elon Musk is a very big supporter of cryptocurrencies. But yeah, no, it's not that. And if you've been paying attention to the news of late, I'm sure you've noticed that cryptocurrencies have jumped so much in value ever since Donald Trump got into power. And one of the cryptocurrencies, which is a meme coin, which Elon Musk actually supports, it's also jumped. Dogecoin has jumped in massive values. Bitcoin has also jumped. And this is because Donald Trump went to the crypto community and he said to them that I will make sure that you are wealthier, or that your cryptocurrencies gain value if you elect me as president. And they've done that, and he's doing exactly that. It's quite interesting to see that in America at the moment, every single person that voted for Donald Trump, they care about becoming richer, they care about keeping people out of their borders, they care about themselves as a country. And the moment he's in power, they are becoming richer, they're building walls to keep people out, they're benefiting themselves. Maybe this is something other countries should learn about politics. But let's have a look at this video where it explains some of the interesting things that I think about Elon Musk.
Donald Trump to unveil the people who will be populating his cabinet when he returns to the White House next year, just a week, of course, after he won that election. And he has named, as you mentioned, Elon Musk, who together with another entrepreneur, Vivek Ramaswamy, somebody who competed with Donald Trump for the Republican presidential nomination, they will head this Department of Government Efficiency. And it is, in a sense, a reward for Mr. Musk, I think, who became a very staunch supporter of Donald Trump in the latter stages of the Trump campaign, didn't he? Pumping millions of his own money into Mr. Trump's run for office, ultimately successful run for office. Now, together, according to this statement from the Trump transition team, these two men will dismantle bureaucracy, cut wasteful expenditure, and create an entrepreneurial approach to government. Now, government spending in this country is thought to amount to around $6.5 trillion a year, and it's thought that this effort by Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy could lead to the loss of quite a few jobs in the federal government.
There you have it. It's not only Elon Musk. Vivek Ramaswamy is also there, and Vivek is very big advocate of Donald Trump, and he is somebody who was actually running in the presidential race, and he actually went off and said, I'm stepping back and I'm going to back Donald Trump. Now, him and Elon Musk being given this new position of the Dodge department. Now, you might be asking, what exactly is this department? According to Trump, it's going to dismantle government bureaucracy. He says that they want to slash excess regulation, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, which I actually think is very important in government. And when you put two businessmen, entrepreneurs that have done very well to be able to do that, I believe you do get the right effect. The only concern I've got is jobs. To say when you do look at efficiency, sometimes jobs do get taken away. And I mean, Trump did buy, Elon Musk did buy Twitter. And remember, he fired a whole lot of people there. And now we understand that he was using AI to be able to do a whole lot of stuff there. So he seems pretty excited about this new gig. He went on Twitter and he said all actions of the Department of Government Efficiency will be posted online for maximum transparency. And I thought that was quite interesting. I mean, somebody who's coming out and saying he's going to be running a department and people will be able to see what's going on. I believe this is important. In every government, we should have people that are this transparent, because it's important for us to be able to understand what officials do with your money as the taxpayer. Now, the new department it's not actually going to be part of government. It's more like a supercharged advisory board that will work with the White House to shake things up. And this is quite interesting because until July 4th, 2026, they have that time to complete their mission. Now, some people are raising eyebrows about the potential conflicts of interest given Musk's business empire. And also some people are also saying, well, what about the stuff that Elon Musk has said before, the controversies? One may even ask, how will Elon Musk's leadership style impact this new government or Department of Government Efficiency? I keep having to say it again because, I mean, these are new words that we've never heard of before. Now, let's take a look at this video where it talks a little bit about Elon Musk's leadership style.
There are expenditures that don't make a lot of sense, that are wasteful. And we need to put a stop to that. Honestly, there's so much government waste that's going on that I would call it a target-rich environment. Like, it's hard in every direction. There's this just mad waste. And I think simply, if people simply know that, well, if they waste a ton of taxpayer money, they're going to get fired, that will immediately improve the situation. Immediately. It's like, yeah, it's just literally, and I think, but actually it's going to be both carrot and stick. It's like, so if a government official is very effective in spending your money because taxpayer money is your money. So, if they're effective in spending your money, they should be promoted, they should be rewarded. And if they waste your money or do something that's basically corruption, they should be fired, obviously. They have a duty to spend your money well.
Well, you have it. He says if they spend your money recklessly, they should be fired as a government employee. But if they spend it well, they should be promoted. And this is what he wants to bring in, where he's looking at, is the government spending money in the right way? I mean, he says that they spend a lot of money on wasteful expenditure. And this reminds me of lots of African governments where so much money is spent on wasteful expenditure. People are not taken out of positions. They remain in those positions. They're not even fired from those positions, yet they've wasted taxpayers' money. Now, I want to ask you as an individual, if somebody wastes your money, do you just sit down there and watch them do it, or do you actually take action? And I think this is what is quite commendable about what the US is doing, to say it's important to look at government, to say, government, are you wasting citizens' money? Or are you actually doing something important with it? Now, he's known for setting extraordinary high standards and ambitious goals. I mean, this is a man who's been to Mars and who wants all of us to go to Mars. And this approach could lead to aggressive targets for cutting government waste and inefficiency. He could start implementing it rapidly, new ideas, processes, pushing for innovative solutions, and he plans on killing the long-standing bureaucratic challenges. Elon Musk has emphasized transparency in his approach, and he wants all the actions that he takes to be put up on public platforms. People should have feedback. And he also wants a public leaderboard that will track wasteful spending of tax dollars. Now, for me, this is so smart. A public leaderboard where you can see, are your government officials actually spending your money correctly? And if somebody's wasting money, we need to know as a government to say, this politician or this employee of government has wasted the most amount of money in the country. It should be shameful to waste citizens' money. And this innovative approach that Elon Musk is bringing, I commend it. I think it's definitely going to work. And he's working with Vivek, and obviously Vivek is the first Indian American to ever join Trump's administration. And for Vivek, Dodge represents a significant opportunity to translate his campaign ideas into actual government policy. It elevates his status within the Trump administration and the Republican Party, while also putting challenges that he's able to implement. Now, Vivek, as we know, he's been able to do a lot of different things in the US. And take a look at this video.
I often get the question of, well, why didn't President Trump do this the first time around? I don't love the form of that question for a few reasons. First is it denies the possibility of improvement, right? The fact that even as our country, we've never been perfect because we're a nation comprised of human beings and not gods. But I would rather live in a country that has ideals and falls short of them than one that has no ideals at all. But on a more pragmatic note on this question of why President Trump didn't do it in the first term, he didn't have the legal landscape to do what he can do and what we can do now. The Supreme Court has handed down what I think are some of the most important cases of our lifetime in the last 2 years. West Virginia versus EPA is a critical case that said that if it's a major policy question, call it the major questions doctrine in that case, if it's a major policy question, affects economic policy or affects your individual rights, it can't go through administrative rulemaking. It has to go through Congress. And if it did go through administrative rulemaking before, those rules currently are unconstitutional under current law. Pair that with the overturning of Chevron deference in the Loper-Bright case this year, which says that federal courts no longer have to engage in deference to the judgments of administrative agencies. And we have the basis of a 1-2 punch for an administrative reform in the United States of America of a kind that has not been possible since the advent of the administrative state over 100 years ago under Woodrow Wilson's watch, which expanded under FDR, metastasized like a cancer under LBJ, and frankly, some Republican presidents along the way, Nixon included, have some culpability in continuing to expand. It is a century-long sin in the United States of America that we now have a historic and generational opportunity to correct. And the beauty of this victory of Tuesday night is that it was a diverse coalition of independent thinkers, outsiders. My friend Elon Musk was an important part of it through the very end of this process, which is a beautiful thing to watch. And I know he's chomping at the bit to be able to play his important role in this level of bureaucratic reform. Frankly, so am I. And so is President Trump. I mean, J.D. Vance, my friend and our fellow Ohioan, he's going to do a great job as a vice president, is also largely an outsider to politics, but for the couple of years he spent in the U.S. Senate. And I do think it's going to take a band of rebels, if I may use a 1776 analogy, to come together and take on this federal leviathan. This isn't going to be easy work.
There you hear it. He says it's going to take a band of rebels to actually take on government processes and the bureaucratic procedures and the wasteful expenditure. And I quite frankly agree with him to say sometimes you don't need a politician to come in. You actually need somebody who's run a business, has experience, knows what they are actually doing to come in and save taxpayers' money. Now, this role closely aligns with his political brand, and it could serve as a launching pad because he does want to be the president of America. And you can hear that they plan on shaking up Washington. Is this what Washington needs? What are your thoughts about this? What do you think? Do you think Trump is experimenting with a wild card here? Do you think it's going to work? I think this is all too interesting for us to understand. Now, we've got some good news for the South African economy. Employment numbers are on the rise, and we've seen a jump in the third quarter in 2024. Take a look at this.
It has gone down to 32.1%. But that's when we look at the official headline unemployment rate. When we go to the expanded unemployment rate, we are taking the 8 million people who are actively looking for employment, plus the 3.4 million people who are discouraged work seekers, as well as another 800,000 who didn't look for employment for other reasons other than discouragement, but who would have taken up employment had it been available. We come to 12.2 million. And that 12.2 million returns an expanded unemployment rate of 41.9%.
There you have it. Unemployment rates have gone down. According to Statistics South Africa, employment increased by a whopping 294,000 jobs in the third quarter of this year, and has brought the total number of employed individuals to 16.9 million. This is a significant boost in the country's economy and a positive sign for job seekers. And leading this change is the Eastern Cape, which saw an impressive increase of 83,000 new jobs. Now, this is fantastic for a province which has historically struggled with high unemployment rates. Now, for me, really, what I find interesting in this is that we all know what happened towards after election. A lot of illegal foreigners were removed from the nation. We saw that a lot of procedures and processes that used to happen in our country started to sort of change, and it's a new government and there's a shake-up a bit. So we know that a new government, the GNU, is trying to be impressive with their numbers. I'm not going to be so forgiving and say, well done. No. Firstly, unemployment should have never been a thing in our country. We have enough resources for every single person to be employed and to be doing well. So they are fixing a problem that was created. But what I would say is that we need to track and hold them accountable. We need to ensure that the unemployment numbers increase. We need to ensure that they continue to do well. And we cannot yet clap for them as they've just started. We want to see them long term as to what that they'd be able to do. Now, the sectors that have been driving this growth, we're seeing strong gains in community and social services, which is good. Construction, there's also trade as well. And this is suggesting a broad-based recovery across different sectors of the economy. Now, while challenges still remain when it comes to unemployment in South Africa and the future of a lot of young people in this country, we also have a little bit of a glimpse of resilience that South Africans have been putting through to ensure that they create jobs and opportunities that exist. Thank you so much for joining us today, and this brings us to the end of our show. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, and I know that I've not been coming through with a lot of political news, but I will be making more time so that I join you now. Let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts about Elon Musk, a South African, joining or going through to join President Trump, and ensure that you share this video with at least 5 people. Help us grow this channel. We appreciate it so much. Thank you.